Hey guys, I am holidaying currently in an undisclosed location right now, and I did want to make a video in answer to a question I got posted on one of my videos about whether Russia is still going to win, if I think they are still going to win. The first thing I'll mention is that the last video I made, without telling people exactly where I am, the last video I made in regards to how every country is a dictatorship now. We're basically choosing the best dictatorship. I'm more correct than I thought because the country I'm in is a supposed dictatorship, and there's way more freedom here than Australia, at least. The so-called democratic country, like individual freedom wise, there's way more freedom where I currently am. So you basically if you haven't been told lies, which you no doubt that you had. I mean, there are going to be restrictions, like talking about the government, the typical things you get in these kinds of places. But in terms of just your own personal freedom, yeah, it's way more free in these countries. So that's the first thing I want to say. And the second thing I wanted to talk about is this whole thing that's happening with Russia, and with that, I also still stick to the things that I've said about it. And if you look at my videos, the things that I said about Russia has never been that they are this invincible, unstoppable force that does everything correct. If you go back to my videos, you'll see that I am critical of Russia. I say that they are corrupt, that they most likely have missiles filled with vodka instead of fuel, but they haven't been maintaining the equipment, that they it, all these stories of like them selling parts off to somebody, tank parts and stuff, that's true to an extent, but even so, even with all the corruption that Russia has, what you have to understand is that Ukrainians are 10 times as corrupt, 10 times as likely to sell their weapons, because if you look at it, they're basically begging for everything that they have currently. They're totally reliant on other countries to send them shit because they don't have anything themselves. And my simple point is that Russia may not be this grand, superpower that people made it out to be, but it is strong enough to defeat Ukraine. I mean, it just does, and this war is just not never gonna stop without some kind of deal, because even if Ukraine pushes back Russians to the border of Russia, and that takes back Donbass and Crimea, Russia isn't gonna stop sending rockets over there. Russia isn't gonna stop wanting to get that land back again. They're just gonna keep on going until they get what they want. And the only way to defeat Russia is for Ukraine to basically invade Russia and destroy it. So let's see how that goes. But so if Ukraine can do the same thing that Russia has done to Ukraine, which is go into Russia and then start taking that land in Russia, and we'll see how that how that will turn out. With that not happening, then yeah, Russia will still win eventually. And I say that critically, so this is the practical part, because I'm critical of that part, but I do want Russia to win. And the only thing that's changed since, like point of view, the only thing that's changed in it since with all the stuff that's happening since the last few videos that I made is that I've only become more disgusted about what the West is doing and by supporting Ukraine, because now that they've taken this territory back, they've already started, calling the pro-Russian, everyone who they deem pro-Russians. I think it includes the teachers that started to teach. They were teaching Russian to the kids basically, because that's illegal in Ukraine. If you didn't know, you can't teach Russian in Ukraine, and if you don't see that as racist, like if you don't see Ukrainians as Nazis and racist by now, I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. I don't know how else to convince you if you're just set on thinking that they're these glorious heroes of Azovstal and all this nonsense. If you believe that, then all I can say is that if you have relatives that fought in World War II, they're rolling around in their graves and they've disowned you in heaven or wherever they are right now. That's all I gotta say to you, because you're on the wrong side of history 100%. So I do want Russia to win, but that doesn't mean I'm not realistic about what kind of country Russia is. I was never at that point. That's why I kind of do want the separatist state in Ukraine to have an independence. I'd really like to see that those states be obviously very close to Russia, but still be their own thing and do things their own way. And hopefully they'll get that opportunity. They'll stay like a separate. There'll be a new Ukraine, basically. That would be great. That's the ideal thing I'd like to see. So those are my thoughts. Nothing's changed. I still think Russia's gonna win. But like the video I posted of one of the people from the Donetsk Republic, he was saying that, this is the reality. It isn't this glorified, easy thing that Russian propaganda makes it out to be. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be losses, but in the end, Russia's gonna win and get what they want. So, anyway, guys, that's my video. Thank you and all the best.